Hello everybody. I just went and checked the mail today and I got something else in the mail. It's my 12-volt power supply. It takes current from your wall outlet, right like that, and this is what I got in the mail. It's a 12-volt power supply. What it does is it has two things in it. It has a transformer and a rectifier. The transformer lowers the voltage to about 12 volts. The rectifier turns it from AC into DC current. So this puts out right at 12 volts DC. This is coming from the wall, and it goes straight into this. This is a switch I showed you in my previous video, and it all depends on temperature. Right now it's switched off. I'm going to change that in just a second. So this switch right here determines whether or not there's any current going to this, which determines if there's any current going to this. So right now there's a little LED light. It's kind of green. It's right up in there. I don't know if you can see it right now, but whenever that's green, this thing's turned on. And whenever this thing's turned on, it goes to this, my little fan. And so now I no longer have to rely on two 6-volt batteries. I can rely on this, and it's much more reliable. Now watch what happens whenever I open the refrigerator again. This thing ought to switch on in a couple of seconds. There it goes. That quick. That quick. And as you can see, that little green light is on, and so is that little fan. And I'm also going to be hooking my Peltier units up to this as well, so it turns on the Peltier units and the fan at the same time. And that's really all I got so far. I'm also going to be plugging an alternating current fan into this, so that I can put it on the other side of this to cool off the heat side of this heatsink assembly. And that's all I've got so far. I'm not going to upload this video yet until I've got the Peltier units, so that ought to be next on the list. I'm going to turn this down until it switches off, and there it goes. My little light dimmed and my fan stopped. If I were to switch it back on again, there it goes. There it goes. Right like that. Off, on. That easy. It's amazing. Hello everybody. I just got something else in the mail today. I got my little alternating current fan. It's about that big. It's not too big of a deal. It's about rated for 120 volts alternating current, which is why I have it plugged into here as opposed to in here. This fan, on the other hand, is a DC fan, so I had to plug it into my DC power supply. Now, both the DC power supply and, my AC power here are all controlled by this one switch. This is my, cold control kit, as I'm sure I've showed you before. This, what I'm going to be doing with this fan is I need to really cool off the heat sink that's on here. Now, whenever I get the Peltier units, and I'm really sorry I don't have those yet, I really want to get them, but they shipped from, somewhere in the middle of Asia, like Hong Kong or something like that. I don't know where, but they're a long way away. I'm going to be putting those in here. I'm going to put the hot side facing up, and so this side's going to get really hot. The cold side is going to be facing down, so this is going to get really cold. This fan is going to fan off the cold side as much as possible. It's not a very powerful fan, but this hot side right here is really going to need a good fan, and that's why I got this. I wanted to make it alternating current because I didn't want to use a lot of power out of this. I don't want to blow a fuse in it. So I just said, hey, well, if I can get a fan that's alternating current, I can just wire it into this and not worry about blowing any of the power in this. So I'm going to throw the switch once again. Let me see if I can Oh, there it goes. Instantly, it came on as soon as I turned on. As soon as I opened the door, my DC power supply is on, and there's my fan, just doing what it does. And the other fan on the other side ought to be working pretty hard too. Yep, it's also spinning. I'm going to be using some screws here to mount this onto the top of my cooler once I get it. That should actually be coming in a couple of days. It's Saturday today, so sometime Monday or Tuesday, maybe Wednesday at the latest, I'll get my big cooler that I'm going to be mounting all of this onto. And that's it for today.